Nothing happened the way it was supposed to happen.
6 billion people on Earth when the infection hit. I'm a survivor living in New York City. I will be at the South Street Seaport every day at midday, when the sun is highest in the sky.
Before starting, I would like to request all of you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I Am Legend, a 2007 film directed by Francis Lawrence, is the topic of our discussion today. In the television series I Am Legend, Robert Neville, a doctor in Manhattan, battles the Crippen virus to find a cure for disease. Now with all of that out of the way, let's jump into the movie. The news transmission that introduces the film describes the Crippen virus as a modified measles vaccine that treats cancer. 3 years later, it is clear that most of humanity was indeed wiped out as a result of this. Even the continent has been left in ruins. I wonder what John Wick is up to when I see Samantha, who he describes as his goodest girl in the whole wide world, cruising around the streets of Manhattan with Dr. Robert Neville. He discovered that they were cut off by several deer in a ford in Muston. When Robert sneaks up on one and prepares to shoot it, a lion leaps on it and kills it. Robert is after them while trying to hunt one, while hearing absurdly loud noises outside, these being the darkseekers. Robert goes to pick up his wife Zoe and his daughter Marley, who is actually played by his real-life daughter Willow Smith. Will has a thing for using his real kids in films, which is actually pretty nearby. He alerts them that they are quarantining Manhattan, and he needs to get them out of there while he stays behind and tries to figure this thing out.
When you get across, I need you to get to the ATM. Get as much cash as you can get.
Robert remains there when his wife's timer starts beeping to let him know it's time to get the crap out of there, because he obviously wants to freak out with a pack of lions. We get a fantastic sight of some buildings as he's departing, in which we can see a Batman vs. Superman poster hanging up. Robert and Sam are in the bathtub when Robert's timer again sounds, telling them that it is time to lock up for the evening. Marley tried to cheer him up by making her hands into butterflies. Robert awakens in the present, works out briefly with Sam, and then descends to his lab below ground. He examines several test subject rats that he had given a potential vaccination to, and finds that half of the rats are still displaying aggressive behaviors, and some have even passed away. Compound 6 appears to be displaying some promising traits. Nevertheless, his hostility has subsided, and some of his pigmentation has returned. The prospective vaccine, known as Gasseri's Serum 391, is then found to be prepared for human testing. According to him, he runs past a DVD shop and displayed some science while expressing how lonely he is. He then switches on his daily radio show to inform everyone who may still be alive that he can provide them with food and protection after conversing with the cashier and checking out a female mannequin.
If anyone is out there, I can provide food, I can provide security. If there's anybody out there, anybody.
Sam raises her head while playing golf, and Robert looks across and notices a deer. When the deer rushes inside a pitch-black abandoned structure, they instantly pursue it and try to catch it. Sam is trailing behind. Knowing that the darkseekers prefer to hang out in shadowy regions during the day causes Robert to panic. Robert then sets up a really unique booby trap attempting to capture one of the darkseekers. As he ascends, he discovers the deer lying dead on the ground, accidentally shining his light on a huddled-up bunch of dark searchers. That would be dreadful. My God. The fact that the Darkseeker is unaware lets him carry on with his hunt. Finally, he discovers Sam hiding beneath a table, terrified, as he becomes aware that a shadowy seeker is directly behind him, devouring the dead animal. After killing that fool, he flees. When he climbs out of a window, Sam and a large group of Darkseekers chasing after him almost bite his neck. They were immediately killed by the daylight. The two are fine when Sam arrives. He pulls some blood and slams the bottle against a tarp that he had set in the deserted structure. A little while later, it launches itself, grabbing a female Darkseeker before dispatching it. The powerful Darkseeker is not at all pleased by this. Robert attempts to administer the Gasseri's Serum 391 vaccination to the female patient in his lab. Her respiration becomes more human-like, and her temperature drops for a little period of time before she starts to panic out a lot. He then takes another injection of something we are unsure of, possibly the same shot they gave Nikki 6 before he overdosed.
GA series serum 391 compound 6. Ineffective on humans.
Before passing out and collapsing. I'm just trying to clarify that because I'm not a doctor, it may be an adrenaline shot. Anyway, the shot eventually revives her, and he decides to give up for the day. He then descends the stairs and records a little interview with himself. In order to explain the happenings of today, we also learn that Robert is impervious to them. He has determined that it is impossible to grant others that immunity though. Then Marley hands Robert that nice girl while admonishing baby Sam to keep daddy safe. He gives a final wave before waking up the following morning. Sam and he go out for a fun-filled day, but as they are driving, Robert spots Fred, one of the DVD store's mannequins. He loses his mind about this while seated in the middle of the roadway. He moves up to the dead mannequin and goes so far as to draw out his rifle and blast that fool away. He triggers a trap as he steps into a puddle because it grabs him by the leg and hangs him upside down. On the way up, he bumps his head on the floor. After knocking him out, he awakens a few hours later when his watch beeps to let him know it's time to head home. Fortunately, he is carrying a pocket knife, which he uses to help himself down. Robert stabs himself in the leg in the process and begins to crawl to the car as the sun begins to set. Sam, though, senses something. The diseased dogs were advancing on Robert and Sam. Sam defeats one of them to save the robber. Then Robert took a revolver from his car and shot one of them to death. As Sam is being beaten, the other infected dog interferes with the shooter's attempt. Sam attempts to remove it, but Robert is able to take his gun and set it down by tackling Sam. He lies down for a moment, feeling relieved, only to discover that Sam was badly injured in the fight, both by being bit and beaten up. The following day, he drives around feeling more alone than ever before going to bury her. When night falls, Robert embarks on a deadly journey in an effort to exact revenge on his girlfriend. He sets up a decoy to draw all the dark searchers, and then he tries to run them all over. His car is getting severely damaged, which is when things start to go wrong. They charge his car, tipping it over and hitting it. The alpha male sneaks in and is about to devour Robert when a ton of bright lights are flashed in his direction, making all of the dark searchers flee. Robert, who appears to be comatose, spots a girl and a little kid helping him into a car and allows them to help. After that, Robert saw another helicopter spin out of control and crash into his family's helicopter as he waved goodbye to them. He wakes up on the couch the following morning to find Shrek on TV, which makes him feel sorry about their sad deaths. Not wanting to take any chances, Robert retrieves a hidden gun and searches his home, where he discovers Anna and Ethan preparing breakfast. They have a brief conversation while eating and tell him they found him through his daily radio broadcast, informing nearby survivors of their whereabouts. She informs him that they are traveling to Vermont in order to seek refuge in a survivor's colony, killing a large number of them, when the alpha male suddenly appears and bites Robert on the neck and beats him up. Robert runs off to fetch Anna and Ethan. Robert locates his assault rifle and frightens the dominant male. Then, as he returns to look for Anna and Ethan, he discovers a dark seeker. On the roof, as they approach the front entrance, they notice a huge number of black seekers approaching. Robert orders them to go to the lab, where they are hiding in a room with thick, durable glass. The female test subject emerged from the room and resumed her human appearance. Robert tries to convince the dark searchers to let him save them after seeing encouraging vaccine results, but they remain uninterested. The dominant male begins pounding on the glass, gradually smashing it. As the glass gradually takes the form of a butterfly, Robert is reminded of his daughter. Then he swiftly gives Anna the shot, places them in a coal chute, and opens a drawer. He pulls the pin as the alpha male finally succeeds in breaking through, first taking out a family portrait and then a bomb. As they run shoulder to shoulder and explode, they all perish. The following morning, Ethan and Anna drive to Vermont and arrive at the survivor community. After that, the dark seekers leave the basement unhurt, leaving Robert, Anna, and Ethan alone. Robert understands that these beings are more than simply terrible beasts and are actually highly intelligent. He regrets having damaged the test subjects for so long as he views the images of the test subjects. He subsequently makes the decision to pack up Anna and Ethan and depart New York for the survivor colony, which brings about the alternate ending. Thanks for watching.